Hey, sports porchers, it's your hockey Jesus, and I'm back with analysis of the Pittsburgh Penguins versus the Toronto Maple Leafs. Well, tonight the Pittsburgh Penguins couldn't get it done, couldn't win another back to back, and it really showed right from the beginning. In that first period, the Penguins were just not getting any of the bounces. Everything just was not going their way, and that's just sometimes the way the cookie crumbles or the way the puck bounces, however you want to say it. That's losers tonight, 7-2. Yeah, that's right, 7-2. Toronto finally found their guns and they shot them all off all over our goalies. Sheloff was pretty horrible tonight. 4 goals on 9 shots before he got pulled. Sheloff's never actually played Toronto before. I was surprised to hear that, but he's still a relatively young goalie, and he did play in the West. So I guess that's not too surprising. So now he's 0-1 against Toronto. That was the worst home loss since Sheloff had his last start, where he got scored 4 goals in 10 shots. So Sheloff's had a couple rough outings here. I'm not going to make too much of it right now, but 2 games is starting to create a trend. 3's a trend. So if he goes 3 games and he's looked like crap, that's going to be a problem for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Although, they could always bring up Murashov again, but they're not going to send Sheloff down. That causes a problem for the goalie rotation, though. So we'll just have to see how that goes. This month, actually, they've been pretty bad at home. 6-6 at home in general. 3-4 in the month of November. That's not good. And like I said, 0-4 and only 2 points on those back-to-backs. So that means 2 overtime losses. I don't like to say overtime losses. You know the way I am. That's the way it works here on the porch. So same lineup as last night for the Pittsburgh Penguins. First period, like I said, they got some bad luck. Shot from Eriksson Ek went off Witherspoon's skate. He gets the rebound. Witherspoon had no idea where that puck was. Kind of felt bad for him a little bit. At first, I was like, what the hell is going on? I thought, Witherspoon just missed him. And then I saw it went off his skate. So, so hard to know when you get bad luck like that. But right after that, Pittsburgh Penguins go on a power play. Kindle hits it out of the air. That's his first goal since they last played Toronto. So something about Kindle liking Toronto, playing against Toronto. That's good. I like to see him out there on that first power play. That's good for Kindle. Still want to see him up on that first line. I know Hayes is still up there. Hopefully they'll make some changes when they play on Monday against Philadelphia. And then the first line, that they just cannot play defense sometimes. That's what happened on that second goal. Power play opportunity again for the Penguins. They didn't get anything out of it. And I think this was the key. When Toronto had their power play at the end of the first period and Lizotte had that breakaway, I thought, okay, he buries that. They're going to stay in it. It's going to go back and forth. But no way. Goalie stops it. He was an absolute beast tonight. And that really just gave him confidence, and I think just trickled down the rest of the game. I guess I don't really want to go over all the goals in the second period, but let's just say it got to 4-1 real quick. Dakota Johnson put one in, and that was it for Sheloff. He gets the hook, and that's tough for Jari because Jari played last night, so now he's going to play again. And that showed when he first got in there. He had a bad play on that one puck and went to 5-1. That's just after that, you're just kind of watching the game to see what happens. Sid did get a rebound, and he did get a goal, so that made it 5-2. But then after that, it was Toronto. So Toronto wins 7-2. I thought Toronto's speed was very good tonight, and essentially they wanted it more than the Pittsburgh Penguins wanted it. And I'm going to show you a little graphic. We're not going to do a highlight tonight. Not every night are we going to do a highlight. Sometimes there's just nothing to highlight that's good or that would make me kind of show you what I'm seeing on the ice tonight. There was none of that. So what I did was, and I do this every year. So if this is your first year watching me, hey, hit that subscribe button and hit the like button if you like what you're hearing here. Because every year, this is what I do. I kind of create this, what I call a normalized standing, because, you could say you're in the playoffs now because you have more points, but if you're not playing as many games, it's hard to know where you actually stand. So what I do is I create this normalized standing, and I'm going to show that now for the first time this year. I'm going to update it as the year goes on. It's a little early to be looking at the standings for sure, but I think this will tell you why Toronto essentially wanted it more tonight. So, and by the way, I was able to get my pointer to work now. So I got the colored pointer. It's a little bit bigger too. This is Pittsburgh's record the last few games. You can see that they've been projected around 108 at the high. Right now, they're projected at 99. They've been hovering around 100 points projected. Typically, that's pretty good. That'll get you a playoff spot. And so that's what I'm doing. You'll never see what you'll see now is I'll show you all the wins and losses. Here's their record, 12-12. 12 means that they have 5 overtime losses. I'm not going to show overtime losses. I think it's too confusing. So if you come here to look for overtime losses, you've come to the wrong place. Let's look at the East. So the East, this is how it stands now. In the Atlantic, you got Tampa Bay, Montreal, and Ottawa all at the top. They're trending for 112, 99, 96 points. This is the division that Toronto plays in. So in the Metro, then this is the division the Pittsburgh Penguins play in. New Jersey, Carolina, and Philadelphia. You can see New Jersey and Tampa Bay are kind of the cream of the crop here. Carolina's lagging behind. I put Philadelphia in this third spot because I think they won tonight. And you can see the Pittsburgh Penguins also have trending for 103. Same amount of games. So Philly and Pittsburgh are pretty much neck and neck, which makes Monday's game very interesting. But where's Toronto? You don't even see Toronto yet, right? There they are, second from the bottom down here. That's not good. That is not where you want to be. So Toronto needs to make some games up. They've got a little bit more. They don't have as many games as some of these other teams, like Boston at 26, the Rangers at 27 games. So they still have games in hand on them. That was a good win for Toronto tonight. And they needed it, honestly. Pittsburgh took out Buffalo. You can see they're at the bottom by a lot. When you're down by more than, I would say, 6 points, I would consider that significant. But you can see this is very unique, I think. Almost everybody is trending for 1 point per game. That means you're going to get 82 points. That's pretty impressive. And what that's telling me is, I'm going to stop sharing this for a second. What this is telling me is that the East has been playing a lot against the I'm sorry, I'm just trying to get this together here. Okay. The East has been playing a lot against the West. So and that's really what happened. So now the Penguins are in a dogfight for that playoff spot, and it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. On the show tonight, they basically were saying, that they might be getting back some players in about 4 weeks. I'm sorry, in about 4 games. That's not going to help them. The next 4 games are pretty interesting. They play against, like I said, Philadelphia. They're going on the road. So they play Philadelphia and Tampa Bay, 2 teams that are above them in the standings, if you were paying attention. So I think those are big games. And then they play at Dallas, and Anaheim's coming into Pittsburgh. And those are some of the cream of the crop in the West. I didn't do the West standings yet because I don't think it's necessary to look at both the East and the West. And so they've got some important games. And then after that, they play Montreal. That takes them to almost the middle of December. So that's what happens, when you're playing against teams that got to score points. They want it a little bit more. Pittsburgh Penguins didn't want it more. But if you noticed in the game tonight, they did mention there's a Crosby countdown going. That's right. He only needs 9 more points to tie the greatest of all time, at least in my mind, because I'm a little biased and I'm a Pittsburgh Penguins fan. But 9 points to tie the infamous Mario Lemieux in all-time points, and that's for the Pittsburgh Penguins record. Of course, he'll be moving up in the points record. Tonight, he did pass Buffalo Sabres Howardchuk to get to 15. He was tied with Howardchuk coming in. So he's 15 place all alone now in goals with his 641st goal tonight. It's always fun to talk about accolades that Sidney does because he's such a great player. But tonight, the Pittsburgh Penguins couldn't bring home the win. Big losers tonight, 7-2 to the Toronto Maple Leafs. Hats off to the Maple Leafs. They played a really good game. Hats off to the fans making a trip down to Pittsburgh. I think Toronto's a world-class organization, despite, everybody making fun of them for what they do in the playoffs. I think they're starting to get it together. So that's it for the Hockey Jesus. Like I said, I like when you hit that subscribe button. So if you like what you're hearing, smash that subscribe button. Hit the like. That really helps the channel out tremendously. Gets us out to more people. And that's why I'm here. I love hockey. You do too. Love the Pittsburgh Penguins most. And that's it. I will catch you Monday night after the Philly game. So until then, enjoy your hockey, and I'll see you in the next one.